Have you ever wandered through a forest at night and felt an unexplained sense of foreboding? As if something ancient and eerie lurked in those shadows? Listen closely, and you might hear the crunch of a forest covered with leaves underfoot, the haunting melody of branches swaying in the frigid breeze. Amidst the haunting echoes of the woods, where the wind whispers secrets carried through ancient trees, lies the tale of the Wendigo, a creature of legend said to stalk the wilderness, a chilling embodiment of hunger and despair. Join us as we delve into this legend with Native American roots. But first, let's hear an original Horror Time tale. Is that a Wendigo? Listen now to the tales, the legends, and the true stories. For time is but a human construct, and it knows no bounds. For the paranormal and unexplained, it is always horror time.
Hey, Hunter, can you grab those tent poles for me and just bring them over here? Yeah, right over there.
Yeah, you got it. Here, heads up. Can't believe Chase and Erica bailed out.
Who? Oh, yeah. Really weird, but they'll definitely miss something spectacular. I'll tell you that.
So, I know you're on to this Bigfoot and all, but how do you know it's here? Like, right now?
Dude, trust me, I've mapped out its migration patterns. You know, all that blah blah blah. And if we don't see anything, no big deal, right? It's a pretty killer camping trip, am I right?
Well, yeah. I'm surprised you still wanted to do this thing. I thought you just, needed everyone here for setup. Yeah, I read somewhere that Bigfoot is actually called a creature called the Wendigo? Wendigo? I don't know. That wanders the deep forest and is very vicious. They say even the mention of the name could bring it to us. Weird, huh?
That's just some made up bullshit. There's nothing to worry about. Anything out here is more afraid of us than we are of it, I can guarantee you. Don't whip out on me now.
You say so. What was that? Was that the Wendigo?
Whoa! You hear that? Let's grab the cameras and let's go see what it was. Whoa! You see that shadow? It was enormous. It was at least 7 feet tall. Let's go over by the ridge. I saw it run over there.
I didn't see anything. You sure it's not a bear? I've just got a blur for an image too.
Come on, let's get it.
Josh, wait, slow down. Wait a second.
Hurry up.
Hey, buddy, where are you? Josh, hello?
What took you so long, man? You turned around or something?
You scared the piss out of me. Do you know where we are? I have no clue how to get back. It seems like we ran forever. Did you get a good shoot of what it was?
Yeah, it was just a dumbass bore. What a waste of film. But to be honest, I'm actually not sure where we are. I don't really recognize anything. But I'm pretty sure it's this way, over here.
You don't sound so sure. Haven't you been up here before? I thought you put up markers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Forgot the markers. But we should keep heading this way, and I'm sure we'll hit the tent soon. After you, my good sir.
Josh, that is the fourth time I've seen that rock. You're directing us in circles. Do you have a compass?
Yeah, we darted off so quickly, I didn't think to grab it. Like I said, we're definitely heading in the right direction. I feel it, and I think it's just your mind playing tricks on you. Shh, shh, shh. Wait, holy shit! Did you hear that? I think it came from over there. Look, go look in the bushes. I'll get ready with the camera. It didn't sound like a boar. Sorry, bud, but this is how it had to be. Who's there? Well, you're not gonna fare well if you try to jump me. Oh, no shit. There really is a Wendigo out here.
What are you doing here? What have you done?
Hey, you want some of my friend? You taste like turkey.
Well, we have ourselves a wannabe. But you're in my woods, pal, and I don't take kindly to strangers. No. I think I'll take what you're eating, and you.
Hello, horror fans. I'm Timekeeper Matt,
I'm Timekeeper Pat.
and welcome to Horror Time. We are having a episode, kind of in honor of Indigenous People Month. We thought it would be fun to kind of delve a little bit into their folklore, into at least some of the tribes' folklores. I don't think every tribe has this, but we're going to be going over the Wendigo. So, are you familiar with the Wendigo, Pat? I think everyone is at this point.
Um,
Everyone in this genre of horror.
kind of. I mean, it kind of reminds me of like a druid
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah, I hear what you're
I
saying.
know, I know the Wendigo's supposed to be
No,
already trans.
is it Wendigo or is it
Win,
Wendigo?
Wendigo. I've
Is
heard
it
both.
Oh, okay. So okay, I've always said Wendigo. So I don't want to sound like ignorant, but
No, 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 no. I think I've heard both ways, but to be
okay.
honest, I didn't look to see how it was
Got it.
pronounced.
All right. Well, yeah, so it's definitely a cool legend, cool creature. So we're gonna delve into that, into a little bit of the story there, and also an encounter of the Wendigo. So people actually have said that they have encountered this thing before, which is
Jeez.
terrifying. So, all right. So, are you ready for the story?
Let's go.
All right. The legend of the Wendigo is deeply rooted in the cultural folklore of various Native American tribes, particularly those in the northern regions like the Algonquin speaking peoples. The Wendigo is often depicted as a malevolent spirit or creature associated with winter, famine, and an insatiable hunger for human flesh. One of the central themes in the legend is the transformation of a human into a Wendigo. This transformation is often triggered by extreme circumstances, such as being lost in the wilderness during winter or facing famine. In dire situations, when individuals turn to cannibalism to survive, it's believed that they risk becoming a Wendigo themselves. This transformation isn't just physical, but also spiritual, marking a departure from humanity and a descent into a monstrous state. The Wendigo is described as a tall, emaciated figure with glowing eyes, sometimes with antlers or other animalistic features. It possesses supernatural abilities, including immense strength, speed, and the ability to mimic human voices to lure potential victims into the wilderness. According to the legends of the Nani Valley, a native author named Basil H. Johnston described the Wendigo as gaunt to the point of emaciation, its desecrated skin pulled tautly over its bones, with its bones pushing out against its skin, its complexion the ash gray of death, and its eyes pushed back deep into their sockets. The Wendigo looked like a gaunt skeleton recently disinterred from the grave. What lips it had were tattered and bloody. Its body was unclean and suffered from suppurations of the flesh, giving off a strange and eerie odor of decay and decomposition, of death and corruption. The legend of the Wendigo serves as a cautionary tale against greed, selfishness, and the consequences of violating societal norms, especially regarding the sanctity of life and respect for nature. It emphasizes the dangers of succumbing to primal urges and the moral implications of extreme actions taken in desperation. Over time, the legend of the Wendigo has been interpreted in various ways, including as a metaphor for the dangers of unchecked desires, the consequences of excess, and the internal struggles between humanity and the savage within. It continues to capture the imagination as well in pop culture, such as in TV shows like Supernatural, films like Antler, and books like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Some have claimed to have seen the Wendigo. The approach of a Wendigo is foretold by eerie sensory cues: a haunting wail capable of paralyzing its victims, distant whistling amid the branches causing instant dread, and a scent of impending death. Descriptions of the creature, just as we said before, depict a ghastly figure, a tall, gaunt, decaying corpse like being with sunken red eyes, menacing teeth or fangs, and elongated claws. Some tales suggest its chest houses a visible icy heart, while others claim its emaciated form renders it nearly invisible when viewed from the side, appearing only when it is facing you directly. Now, here's a sighting from 2015. It was about February 2015, and I'm not sure what county it was, but it was farmland right outside of Wimbledon, North Dakota. I was in the car with my husband, and we were driving back to Wimbledon from a friend's house. It was around 6 or 7 p.m. We got into a fight, and I wanted to get out of the car. So he drove off, and I was walking. After 5 minutes, I turned and saw approximately 50 feet away, laying on its back in the snow, was a very tall, thin creature. It noticed me and stood up. I felt extremely scared, and something told me, don't look at it, but don't run. I kept walking at a faster pace, and crying, I screamed over and over, "Leave me alone! Leave me alone!" I looked over my shoulder a couple of times, and it was still standing, still, just staring at me. I heard a heavy but loud breathing as if it were right next to me. From what I saw, it would have been about 10 feet tall. It kind of hunched over. It was very thin. It had extremely long, pointed fingers and toes, and it had a little bit of shaggy hair on its head. It was white, grayish in color, and it had an open, thin mouth with long, sharp teeth. At about 10 minutes after walking down the road, terrified and screaming at it, my husband came back and picked me up. I was hysterical. I told him what I just saw. He floored it until we got home. I had no idea what it was, but I was telling his sister of my encounter, and she told me 3 years prior she saw the same exact thing around the same area while riding four-wheelers with her friends. Up until just yesterday, I had tried thinking of everything it could have been and put it down to maybe an alien just because it was so unusual. I couldn't find anything about it until I was looking up Native American legends and saw pictures of the Wendigo. And I'm telling you, most of what I read and some pictures online resemble so closely to what I've seen that night now that I can finally put a name to the creature I'd seen, the Wendigo. That's what I got.
Well, at least like from watching Supernatural and seeing it in there, and then like reading what I've uh well for our episode. It's they're wild.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen the movie Antler?
I have not.
It's an interesting one. It's decent. It's not bad. Uh, but yeah, from what I've read about the creatures, and I do kind of remember the story from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark when I was a kid, being a creepy one. Um, yeah, the creature itself, it's really cool looking and really, yeah, it's wild. And the fact that it comes from cannibalism is
It's like a darkening of the soul type thing.
yeah. So it sounds like, from the legend, if you're not respecting, people, not respecting nature, like it personifies itself into you, into this
Hmm.
beastly figure. I was reading up about it, and I do kind of find it cool. It kind of reminds me a little bit, I mean, not completely, but at least the transformation part into a beast, kind of like, more of a Western idea of like a werewolf. Um, I just kind of find it cool that these different civilizations, these different cultures, what have you, they have these almost similar tales to tell. Um, and similar morals to the story. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
it's very
It's like
it's just it's really cool that like all these cultures that are separated by thousands and thousands of years, thousands and thousands of miles can come up with the same almost same sort of myths, you know?
yeah, yeah. It just makes you think like, well, shit. Is there something
Yeah,
out there?
yeah. You either go like we all kind of come to the same conclusion about stuff, or is there really some weird ass creature out there? For our sake, we like to think that there's weird ass creatures out there, and that's
Hmm.
not the only encounter. Obviously, that's one that I found, but there's multiple encounters of this creature. If you go online too, people have claimed to have heard the thing. You can I can play one. I'll share one of the videos where they claim they hear the thing, and it's this like really guttural sound coming from the forest. And
I love that word, by the
but
way.
it's real.
It's my most favorite word. Guttural.
What,
I don't
guttural?
know why. Yeah. Like just recently I've heard it a couple times and I'm just like, yeah, that's a crazy like descriptive word. I
It
like
is.
it.
It's a good descriptive word. I agree. Because when you hear that guttural, like it's coming from the gut, and you
Yeah.
immediately know that it's a loud, overpowering sound. And
Hmm.
the other thing too is I don't think this type of creature or these type of encounters go outside of North America really. Like they go up to Canada, but they
Yes.
really do stick to where Native Americans are. Um, and it is different from a skin crawler. I think some people confuse the skin crawlers and the Wendigo. I've seen that confused before in my searches, but those are two different creatures in Native American lore. There's a skin crawler.
Because
Skin crawler seems to transform into things, into different things, right? If I recall correctly. Whereas a Wendigo,
um if I mean just going with what I've seen or heard, isn't it just like other people or they kill
hmm.
someone, they could take their
Oh, okay. Yeah.
appearance,
No, that's right. But they do have like these almost like supernatural type powers to them, like
like
strength and
extra
stuff,
strong? Yeah,
extra
yeah, yeah, yeah.
fast, extra strong. And we haven't really talked about skinwalkers, maybe sometime in the future. But this one is more of just like a creature where it's looks more like an animal than it does a person. And a lot of depictions have it with that. The classic depiction is the one with the antlers and the looks like a walking buck, like on like a bipedal buck.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of that one movie. What is that movie called? The one where they're lost in the forest.
Which one?
I know there's a lot. I know that doesn't narrow it down at all.
um,
but I,
usually I can pick it up pretty quick because
so
we're on the same
it's
wavelength.
more
But
it's more of an independent film. It's not Blair Witch, but they're lost in the forest, and I think this is the same one. And then at the end, there's this giant like
and it's
creature.
something we both watched,
It's
right?
this like giant antler like creature. Yeah, oh, damn it, can't remember it now. But I've seen it all over the place. Like it's a pretty cool scene. Oh, never mind, everyone.
Shoot.
Sorry, I just brought you down a. I
Sorry.
just brought you down
Usually I'm better with that
a
stuff.
trail that led to nowhere. Anyway, uh, but yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the coolest thing I find about it is the what I said about the cultures. There's another thing too where there's actually a psychosis phenomenon that is called the Wendigo psychosis, like it's named after it, and think like Donner Party. They believe that they kind of had that quote unquote Wendigo psychosis where you're trying to survive, you have no other means of eating, so you eat the dead ones and to keep
Okay.
yourself alive. So, like the Donner Party, obviously that's the most famous example of that. Um, there's like another plane crash out there, I think was in like was it in South America or something. I can't remember, but that they crashed and that the same idea where yeah they resorted to cannibalism. Um,
You know, a fun fact about the Donner Party,
yeah.
I thought that was an airplane crash. I did not realize how long ago it was until I heard or I listened to a podcast on
Yeah, it's way long ago, like coaches and stuff, like stage coaches and stuff. It's
like the
not
Oregon Trail. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
like
like
that type of thing, like died of dysentery type of thing. Yes, not not an airplane, but there is another one. To me, for your credit, there is an airplane crash that did result in cannibalism. I just can't remember the name of it. But I
was
think
it
that's a little bit. Well, obviously, it's a
it
little
was
bit more modern because it's
the soccer
airplanes.
team,
But
right? Or something? Or rugby team, soccer team.
what is it?
Rug-
Yeah, the soccer. Yeah, it was like a rugby team or soccer team. Yeah, yep. And that would fall under the same idea of this like Wendigo psychosis. Yeah, yep.
Yee.
So you take that, you think about those situations while you're eating your turkey tomorrow, guys. You have fun with that.
Oh my god. So I didn't find anything on this, but I don't know if you came across anything. Do they have to continually eat human flesh to survive from that point on?
I didn't
Or
s-
is it just
I
anything?
I didn't see anything like that. No.
'Cause
Um
I didn't find anything either.
yeah, like if they need to keep on going, like yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anything about
Um,
that.
I
Like
saw
almost like a vampire thing where they need to keep sucking the blood to stay alive or undead or
kind yeah,
whatever.
keep them young.
Yeah.
I did find something that said that they absorb like the sun energy
Oh, really?
to delay the cell degeneration,
Huh.
right?
Okay.
Um, but I only found that like one place, so it's just yeah.
Interesting. Yeah,
Uh,
I didn't run into that. That's cool.
it also said the older they are, the more powerful, kind of like that, like
Okay.
like the something you've always seen in like movies or like the animes, like the old guy you see. He
Mhm.
looks feeble, but then he like busts out and he's got like a 12 pack and he's huge.
Like Yoda or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Where like you don't think he's gonna be able to like take down, a Sith or the Emperor. He's just like
And he's like just
flipping all
flipping
over.
around. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly like that. But interesting. Yeah, and
It's
there's a lot of words I can't pronounce that uh that are like ceremonies, that like a Wendigo ceremony. Um, there's actually a
So
lake.
when
Like so like these tribes will oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher them, but like the Cree,
just do your best.
the Cree, the Ojibwe. Oh my gosh,
Don't say that.
yeah,
Hold on.
Chippewa. There we go. There's another way to say it. I know how to say Chippewa. So the Chippewa, the Cree, they will have a ceremony dance that's sometimes performed during times of famine. So to reinforce the seriousness of the Wendigo taboo, so like of being cannibals during a famine, like don't
Hmm.
do it. But I can the ceremony is known as the Wendigo Kanzihim Owen. If you look at this word, it's like 15 words long. 15 letters long. It was performed during times of famine and involved wearing masks and dancing backwards around a drum. Um, and yeah, so those things will actually be celebrate or done during that time. So it's a serious folklore. It's not like just something like they just came up with this story. It's something that's part of their culture and that they actually they look upon and show respect to. Like, you don't want to become a Wendigo, like you want to, like, that is a bad thing that you can become because you're doing the taboo of eating people. You're
Uh,
basically committing the most disrespect you can to nature and to humans and to all of that by doing something like that. So that's why they do those type of rituals or
which
ceremonies, I should
is
say, not ritual.
which is like what do I want to say? I don't want to say it's weird that it's a taboo and it's something that shouldn't be done, but if you do it, you also gain speed, immortality, power.
But it
You
sounds,
like
but it sounds like you yourself lose your soul. Like, you are not you anymore. Like, this creature comes about because of what you caused. It sounds like you're not you. It's not like you're walking around and like, oh sweet, I got these powers now because I just ate someone. Let's go,
you're just like
mess shit up.
running the ass around, berserking all over the
No,
place.
it's like almost like
Berserker.
this. It's almost like this creature manifested because of you know the taboos that you did. I don't want to say sin because that's not a word, that's a Catholic word, but like,
Hmm.
because of the disrespect that you've shown, like it's almost like you've manifested that creature, and that's what it kind of
From
sounds
within
like.
you. Okay.
Correct, that's kind of what it sounds like, because if you recall what I mentioned, I said something like, the soul, like, what did I exactly say? I forget now, but the soul just like leaves itself, like it leaves the body, like it's not that person anymore.
Hmm. Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense then.
Hmm.
It just, I mean, not like I'm gonna go out and do something like that, but it's like, it just.
I want some powers. Let me go eat
Hey,
some.
hey, Matt, you want to go?
just
You want to go camping in the woods?
just a little nibble.
Nom 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 nom.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's not like Spider-Man shit where you get like bit and like you become like this like powerful being. No, it's not like Marvel or something. Um, but like
oh,
it's really like I said, it's the metaphor of just like the dangers, unchecked desires, the consequences of excess, internal struggle. Yeah. So it's all of those things that manifest themselves into this, said creature.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
that
Makes
makes me feel
makes
better.
makes a little more sense.
Yeah, because I'm like, why are they getting rewarded for doing something wrong? And that's more of where I was going. Why is someone getting rewarded for doing something that's immoral.
Yeah, because
I
they
guess.
possess supernatural abilities, immense strength, speed, yeah, mimic human voices. Like, yeah, no, it's not all that. It's not
Hey
like,
kid, you
ooh.
want some candy? Fuck yeah, I want some candy.
Yeah, people would be eating each other all the time if that were the case.
Right?
Yeah, right. Like, oh, I get all of those things. All right, well,
Heck yeah, let's go. No.
our Thanksgiving's gonna be a little bit different this year, folks.
Oh. Yee.
So yeah, but no, it's a very serious ceremony, very serious kind of thing that they think of because it's what can happen if you do these bad things within their, you know, um, their tribes, their rituals, their beliefs, I guess you should say.
Mhm.
Um, that is how they see it. So it's a punishment, and then everyone else around you, I guess, gets punished too because
Ooh.
right. But yeah, that's all I got.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, so the other thing I saw too was, which we're fucked, but so if I guess you write the name down or speak it
yep.
aloud,
Hmm.
it
Oh yeah.
will. It's almost like it turns their heads towards you to make them aware.
Well,
Or
I'm
brings.
I'm not in the woods right now, so that's good.
I'm I'm not really, but my backyard is a flood wall, and then there's trees behind that.
And I'm closer to North Dakota than you are, so at least that one
Um,
encounter. Actually, there are encounters, lots of encounters around me too in Wisconsin. So, but yeah, I guess you do. You have kind of a forested type area somewhere around there, right?
well, my dad lives in like the boons,
Oh,
so
okay. So, if
I
any,
go there every week.
well,
Not re-
don't talk about Wendigos when you go up there. uh, but yeah. So anyway, now that you got a nice thought of cannibalism in your mind for Thanksgiving tomorrow, that's all I've got. Do you have anything else to share, Pat?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a picture of my druid on the website because it
S-
looks like a Wendigo the way it's dressed. So
Sweet, sweet. um,
I'm
yeah,
sure we'll have other pictures up there too. That'll
yeah,
be
yeah. I'll show up.
pretty
I'll show.
interesting.
Yep, I'll show up some of the drawings and the pictures that I found. I'm going to find that movie that I led you guys all astray on. I'm going to figure out what the heck I was talking about. Um, or if any of you know, let me know on our socials. But yeah, so guys, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And if you want more spooky content to fill your Thanksgiving break, if you are listening in the States, that is, uh, you can always go on our socials. Facebook is where we are the most active at Horror Time Podcast. And we will be sharing all the stuff that we said we are. And yeah, we will see you guys in a couple of weeks. And it'll already be freaking December. So,
Gobble gobble.
all right. Have a good one.